Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Preview for Thursday, the 1st of June, and Friday, the 2nd of June, 2017. Hope you had a good trading week. It was an excellent day on Wednesday. Talk about that a little more in a minute. As usual, we don't typically do market previews for Friday, as most of the week is played out. That becomes especially true here as we enter the summer. Fridays typically a little slower than they are the rest of the year. So we're going to get our work done usually Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And so by the time Thursday rolls around, there's not much left to add. If we ever have a real big Thursday, then we still can do a Friday preview. So this will cover Thursday and Friday of this short week. We had a Monday holiday for Memorial Day. You look at this daily chart of the ES, that's the front month futures contract on the S&P 500, and you'd think not much happened, but actually today was a very fun ride down after a gap up and sold off. But again, just the first 40 minutes or so of the day was where all the big excitement was, and then things really slowed down again. No more range covered, closed back and or moved back and forth across the VWAP, closed just a top half of the day's range barely. In the end, it looks like nothing. Let's talk about what the nets were, but we'll go look at the intraday action in a minute. So crude oil gains 52 cents to 48.85, pretty much the middle of where it's been for the last since back to last June. This is a full year. Excuse me. Gold down $4.90, also sitting almost exactly where it was a year ago. S&P cash index down a point. That's what's amazing. We really had a big move today, and for the S&P to be down 1 and the NDX down only 5 looks like a blip, but in the end it was more than that. The SOX literally down 0.03, almost dead unchanged. Biotechs, after getting hit the last couple of days, were up 17.98. The VIX only up 3 cents. I mean, this looks like a nothing day until you see that intraday action in a minute. Trend closes at 1.33. That's the 10-day moving average at 1.15. NASDAQ volume, the best of the year so far, not including the triple expiration Friday in March. 2.2 billion shares on the NASDAQ. So that was good volume, and it made the move exciting. In the end here, though, again, the advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ was actually plus 191. And on the New York, plus 8. Means there were 8 stocks out of how many? 5,000. Or well, about 4,000 on the New York. 8 more stocks up than down. So it looks dead flat. Google rolled over a bit, down $9.08. All the big ones were really down today except Tesla. Apple down 91 cents. Amazon, or there's Netflix, down 15 cents. Not a big deal. Amazon down $2.08. Again, that's still near all-time highs. Tesla, though, up $5.91. That's new closing high. Tesla's been on a tear here since the end of the year. TLT up 31 cents. 20-year ETF on the bonds, the 20-year bond ETF. Goldman Sachs, though, ugly, down 7.16. As go banks and biotech, so goes the market, as they say. Goldman's one of the leaders in the banks and investment area. That is not a pretty chart right there. And look at the volume on that move down. All right, so let's take a look at the intraday action, show you what made this so exciting. So we had a little, this is just the ES, little gap up, kind of flat for the first 15 minutes. Then we broke what's called the institutional range, and we went back and filled the gap and kept going. Pretty big drop, actually. Well, I mean, it's still only about average daily range, but about 12 points finally, high to low on the ES. But you can see about 40 minutes in, that's the low, and that's pretty much it for the day. Back and forth all the rest of the session, getting narrower and narrower until very late we popped up just a bit. Meanwhile, on the NASDAQ side, this was even more fun. We caught 40 points on the NASDAQ futures here. Guy shorted it on the gap up. It picked up some serious speed. High to low, there's 50 points. We caught 40 of them to the final exit. And then again, back and forth, narrower and narrower until the last few minutes of the day. Keep in mind the last 3 candles that you see here are actually after the stock market close. So, you know, the little move you got up during stock market hours, and then we get a push up higher here. So it's very interesting. It was an interesting day. We had some great movement. Stocks worked in that move down. Futures obviously worked. Just everything we like to see. And what it does, and most importantly on the daily chart, is it keeps us under the risk line from that 13 cell signal. We ran right into it, couldn't get through. But again, it barely looks like we rolled over here, and in fact we did. In terms of economic data left this week, we've got the Challenger job cut report at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday. We got the ADP employment report at 8:15. We got the weekly continuing and initial jobless claims numbers at 8:30. PMI Manufacturing Index at 9:45, Bloomberg Consumer Comfort Index at 9:45, ISM Index and Construction Spending at 10, Natty Gas at 10:30, the weekly oil inventories at 11, and then just to cover Friday real quick, we've got the trade balance number at 8:30 a.m. on Friday. And that should be about it for the week. Let me see one more thing here. I feel like the number's saying something different than it is. On Friday, oh, nope, we've got the U.S., it's not the trade balance, it's Canada's trade balance. It's the U.S. non-farm employment number and unemployment rate. Oh, and trade balance. So two big numbers here in the U.S. Friday morning. So actually that could give us a little excitement Friday early to get both those numbers on the same day. That's about it. I don't know what we're going to get for the rest of the week. And the one thing I would say is we started to sell off pretty sharply on Wednesday, and then we kind of paused. But it was the last day of the month, and you know how that goes. They want to print those statements. They've done their work for the month. They don't want prices to drift far. And when you see the S&P down 1, it sure didn't. So is it possible that that's it? That's what held us up late on Wednesday. And now that Thursday is available, is that going to be, open game and maybe a big sell-off? We'll see. Obviously, you go into weekends, if you do sell off sharply Thursday and Friday, that confuses people and gets people worried. So, but we're still very near highs, so right now I wouldn't worry about that too much. Let's just focus on getting some better market action, and if we can keep this volume up, that's a good sign. 2.2 billion shares on the NASDAQ, I'll take that. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken the trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Thursday and Friday.